And if you're not utilizing sea moss in your daily diet, what is you doing? But really, so let's do that again. Hello, my beautiful, oh, my hair looks crazy. Hello, my beautiful people. I'm your green lady. We interrupt your programming to bring you the real deal on life. My name's Wendy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about
Seamoss.
So, Dempsey's going to be joining me for this video. I wanted to talk about how we are going to start building our immune systems, because we all know by now that the coronavirus is very close to home, and I don't want to draw any kind of alarm or have us walking around scared, but we should be wise and we should be preventative, and yes, wash your hands, yes.
And get it in the fingers.
The fingers?
Yeah.
What do you mean the fingers?
Like, else the germs will get
it
between.
in. He even knows, get the soap in between the fingers, correct? That's the tip that Dempsey's giving. Tip one.
They might be like one more germ and it will like make more germs.
It will multiply. That one germ will multiply. I knew that he was going to be such an asset to this video. So we wash our hands, and also they've been canceling things. So staying away from big crowds, just to kind of lessen that. Again, I don't think that we should be live in a fearful state. That is a low vibrational state, and that actually welcomes disease, a low vibrational state. So, but I do think that we should be educated, and let's just call it more of an awareness. So today we're going to be talking about sea moss, how we use it in our house. We're going to be talking about what it is, where you get it from, how to prepare it, and we're going to be going over a couple of quick recipes of how I use it to help boost the immune systems of my loved ones and the people in my family. I have also decided to limit some of the people that come to my house. Personally, my son, in his lifetime, has contracted Lyme disease. Now, that is something that stays dormant in your system and kind of wakes up when the immune system is compromised. So for somebody like my son, an underlying condition, it is something that we take very seriously to keep him safe and the rest of us safe, so that we're not spreading anything around in this house. So not only to boost his immune system, but to boost everybody's immune system here is vital. So without further ado, let's get into it. Sea moss is a source of potassium chloride, which is a nutrient that helps dissolve inflammation and phlegm in the mucous membranes in the body, which essentially means it helps to clear out congestion, whether it is in the lungs, whether it is in the lymphatic system. It is an electric nutrient that we should be putting in our body. One quick fact about sea moss: if your body is comprised of, 102 nutrients, sea moss contains 92 of those nutrients, of the minerals that we are made of. So if we are talking about having the body regenerate what it eats, so you know the old time phrase, you are what you put in your body, that is a literal term. Your body can only regenerate what you put in it. So when you're talking about skin cells regenerating and things, you know, your skin flakes fall off or your hair, like, it's all coming from what you're putting in your body. So that is one of the, I think, all time, you could almost survive on sea moss and really live a more nutrient rich life than some people currently live now with a plethora of foods. Just as a small example, sea moss and water, you could get really far with that. Not that that's how you should survive, but I'm just saying it is that nutrient rich that you can really rely on it for a nutrient cleanse, a way to detox your body. Sea moss is just like, oh, I just freaking love it. So, and not enough people know about it, or I feel like they're being kind of taken advantage of, getting sea moss gel and really overpaying for something that you could buy yourself and is so simple to make yourself. So it also contains compounds which act as a natural antimicrobial and antiviral, helping get rid of infections. So it's a no-brainer. This is something that you guys have to have in your households. With this couple of weeks that's coming up, it's going to be more important than ever just to protect yourself and boost your immune system. Again, control the things that you can help, and that's one of the best things is put what you're putting in your tank. Got it? Cool. All right, so first thing I want to talk about, I first learned about Seamoss from the very well-known Dr. Sebi. If you haven't done research on some of his works, I highly suggest it. He was an herbalist and a brilliant healer. He believed he could cure all disease through an alkaline diet and through diet, pretty much. So some of the other people that supported his works are, if you've heard of them more recently, would be one of my all-time favorites, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, who also is no longer with us. Dr. Sebi, I didn't mention, he's no longer with us, and the late Nipsey Hussle, which I actually wasn't aware of Nipsey Hussle in his life. I only learned about how he was supporting Dr. Sebi's message in the after. So if you're interested in more information on Dr. Sebi, I highly recommend you could YouTube him, you could type his name in, and you'll find things on his works. So that's where I found out about it. What is it exactly? It is exactly what it says. It's a kind of algae. It's something that lives in the ocean. So it's also known as Irish moss. Sea moss also contains compounds which act as natural antimicrobial and antiviral agents, helping to get rid of infections. So in this series of immune boosting things that we can do for ourselves to help ourselves during this time of awareness, we're gonna call it, sea moss is obviously a no-brainer. It's been at the top of my list to talk about, so that's why we're talking about it today. Okay, so that's what it is. Now, where do we get it from? I get my sea moss from a Jamaican health food store in Hartford called Rainbow Groceries. It's on Albany Avenue. I want to give them a big shout out because they're always hooking us up with the good sea moss. Now, it's very affordable. After this, we're going to go to the kitchen and I'll show you really quick. I've videotaped the process of how I prepare it, and we can kind of go over that, but it's very affordable. So that's where I get it from. Some people also order it online on Amazon. You can order it, and that's totally fine too. The only thing that I would be leery of is some people are really jacking up the price on this stuff just because of the awareness. So people are ordering, you know, sea moss gel or something, and it's coming at an inflated rate when you could get a better bang for your buck, and you could really make it yourself. It's really that simple. Okay, so I think it's time to go to the kitchen. Let's do this. So the best way to clean is I'm putting it in the pot. I like to use a big pot because it does expand. I had a friend once that was like, I'm gonna get a lot of it, and she got like 4 pounds of it and didn't realize, like that was a pound. What I have in here is actually a pound. You actually want to clean it off because it is salted and cured. So the first process is just getting a lot of that salt off, so that it doesn't taste so oceany. That's my first step. So I use a really big pot because it doesn't look like it, but this is gonna fill up this pot. Trust me. Today is just the day that it gets washed and you give it a little TLC. And just really, now I like to clean mine for about 3 days. It really takes all of the salty flavor out and really kind of lets it adapt to whatever you put in it. Kind of like People describe tofu like, oh, it doesn't have a taste, it just tastes like what you put in it. Well, after the day 3, I wouldn't say that this has much of a taste. It kind of, I like to put it in my shakes. I've heard you could cook with it. I'm really like a shake kind of gal. I'll put it with some turmeric and ginger just to really kind of pump up the immune system. But this is looking pretty good. So what I do is I clean it once a day. I'll clean it today. And then tomorrow I'll empty out the water. I'll clean it again. And then the 3rd day I'll do the same thing. And by the 4th day, it's like a little barnacle from the ocean. It's like chicken on the sea. Okay, I'm just joking. So by the 3rd day, after it's clean, it's ready to be used. It's ready to drink. Some people only do it for 1 or 2 days, and that's okay too. I just really, really like it to have as much of that saltiness out of there, because you don't want to develop any kind of like kidney stones or anything like that because of high salt intake. So and again, this pound is what I bought, was only a pound. I want to say it was $4.99. It wasn't that pricey. Let's see. This pound was, yep, $4.99. So that's not bad for what you're getting from this. And remember, you are what you eat. So you'll see you have like sand and stuff at the bottom. You don't want it to sit in that. That's what we're cleaning it from. So take the sand out, and we can just, I like to use, so remember, this is gonna act as a sponge. It's gonna soak in whatever you put in it as it cleans it out. Almost as if you've ever heard of people cleaning out oysters. When you buy oysters or anything like in a shell, they tell you to put them in a little bit of water mixed with cornstarch, because as they eat the cornstarch, they expel whatever sands or little grit might be inside of the oyster. This is kind of the same thing. It absorbs whatever you're putting into it, so you don't want to put water from the faucet. It's got fluoride, it's got all kinds of things that aren't great for you. So I like to use my filtered water, and I'm just gonna fill it right up. Now, I'm gonna fill it a little more than halfway because this is going to really, it's gonna grow in the next 24 hours. So tomorrow, we'll take a quick look at it and you'll see how it's just kind of like, it's growing. But until then, I'll check back in with you tomorrow. Hey guys, we're back here on day 2 of cleaning the Seamoss. Let's open it up so you guys can see what's going on here. So as you can see from what I put in here yesterday, it has grown. Let's see if I can get in there. It has grown significantly, like a monster. So it triples in size. So that's why you don't have to get a whole lot. Just a pound lasts for quite a while. For me and my family, it's about like a week, I would say, of like eating shakes and putting it in popsicles and stuff like that. So just don't go crazy. You don't want to let something good go to waste. So you can see, I mean, this was like a fraction of this, and tomorrow it's gonna be even bigger. So just taking it out. It's pretty clean. We got most of the sand and grit out of it yesterday, so I'm just gonna rinse it again, get any of the oceaniness off of it. Okay. But I mean, the most important part is just to empty out that old water, it was drinking up yesterday, and just to refill it with new filtered water so that it can continue to clean itself and get that salt out. The natural salt and the salt that it's also, you know, cured with. So I've got my handy dandy filtered water right here. And I'm just gonna pour it in, let it drink it up. Tune back in tomorrow. Bye guys. Okay guys, so I'm back here on day 4 since we've started cleaning the moss, and I'm gonna open this up to show you what it looks like because it's been swelling and growing, and then we're gonna make a quick shake. So without further ado, let's show you this. Like, hang on, let me see if I can get a good view of it. So it's been a growing. So I'm gonna take some of it out, play with it a little bit, show you what it looks like, and then we're gonna make a shake. Again, I use just a NutriBullet, like the Magic Bullet, something really simple and easy. So let me show you what some of the sea moss is and how much I kind of put in a serving. I reach in and I take like a nice, oh yeah, this stuff is, yes. Okay, so I take like a handful. So like this is way too much because this stuff swells like, whoa. Splash, we got a splashy guy over here. Okay, all right, so I kind of take like a handful. So you can see like a big handful. If you look, this is like super cool, right? I'm trying to get it to focus on the sea moss, not me. But it's very oceany. It's a seaweed, you know? So this is enough to make one large shake. Like sometimes my husband and I actually split the shake just because there's so much that is in it. So I'm gonna put that in here. And then I'm gonna take some water. This is how you make sea moss gel, guys. Just a little bit, just enough to get things moving around. Then I'm gonna close it up and lift it up. Oh yeah, so we got the gel going on. We've got the gel going on. Let me get a spoon and really just kind of show you the texture. Show you the texture that we're dealing with when you're talking about the gel. See that? Don't focus on me, focus on the gel. So it's very thick. You see, and I like to do this when I make my shakes because if not, you're gonna get it's gonna kind of be like not chunky, but you're gonna get little bits instead of having it be smooth. Hence the word smoothie. So in here, I'm gonna put about I like to freeze my bananas if they're gonna go, so they never go because they just, it's like energy, it never dies. They just transform. I put them in my shakes. I've got some leftover honeydew from my kids that they were eating it this morning and they didn't want to eat it. I've got an apple here, some organic apples. I'm gonna throw that in. And then I also like to get some frozen fruits to always just have in the fridge because they don't lose their nutrients when you freeze them. And that is a favorite of mine too. So this is another favorite of mine. This is, it smells like bubblegum. This is jackfruit. If you haven't ever had jackfruit, you must. And that's like honestly a topic for a totally different video, so let's not even get into it. But this is jackfruit. Throw that in there. This is a pineapple, strawberry, mango, peach combo. Like so much goodies all in one place. All right, throw that in there. And then last but not least, just for like some good old, oh, you know what? I'm gonna need a bigger boat. All right. waiting for his shake. So we're gonna open this up. Oh yeah. It's a little thick, but that's kind of the wonderful thing about these shakes. As you can see, it's like pregnant, is that since the sea moss swells, it continues to swell while it's in your system, in your body. So not only does it feel amazing when it's working through your system, but it also is amazing for people that are trying to maybe look for a healthy way to lose weight or to maintain weight. It swells in your belly, so you don't feel hungry, you feel edified, and just you don't feel like you're missing a meal. You feel like, oh, this makes me feel amazing. I'm gonna have one of these every day. So it becomes like an addicting feeling. So this one, I'm gonna send to my husband in 2 minutes. Be right back. Woo! Okay, so my next way that I like to use the sea moss is I visit a herb shop right here in Connecticut. It's called Cassandra's. It is small and it is in Summers, and I love it. It's the quaint, cutest little place, and I get my sea moss tea from there. So I actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's earthy. It's earthy, but it is such a good mucus decongestant. I make my own herbal teas, so I will boil this for about 5-10 minutes and mix it with some other things, like whether it's eucalyptus, spearmint, cinnamon, whatever flavor profile that I'm going for, and to give it that, you know, a different flavor, because it is very earthy, but you know, sometimes the things that are bitter are actually better for you. So this is a steal, again, at Cassandra's. For an ounce, $1.10. So let's see, can you focus? That's what it, let me see if you can see what it looks like. So it's the actual sea moss crushed up. So it's pretty cool. There's so many ways that you can intake it, so many ways that you can help yourself with this one superfood. I feel like is an underrated name for it. This powerhouse of a tool that God has given us on this earth. So with that being said, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell, and also give it a thumbs up. Please stay tuned, because we're going to be posting videos for the next 5 days. Today's day 1. For the next 5 days on 5 different ways you can boost your immune system and help protect yourself and your family in this time of awareness. Until then, stay beautiful, stay kind, and let your big flags fly. Bye.